Bit of a different present. Oh, I'm on over my shoulder.
Well, I'll let that go, and then I'll come and get you.
Oh, buckle up. Hey folks, on the water with Declan Williams. Today we're out here for a couple of hours on the last of the run-in tide, first of the run out, and we're going to be fishing some of our favourite man-made structure, bridges. We're going to fish a variety of presentations and give you some tips and techniques to get out and get stuck into a few yourself. Stay tuned.
Oh, there we go.
Buckle up.
Well, that's not a bad first cast.
First cast.
Nice
And you're...
Nice little flathead.
I'll get the net under him for you. You're fishing a bit of a different present. Oh, I'm on over my shoulder.
Well, I'll net that guy, and then I'll come and get your guy, and we'll talk about what we're fishing.
Oh, buckle up.
That gives us a fair idea what we're in for this morning.
We are fishing bridges.
And flathead love bridges.
Yeah, that's one of the species you're definitely going to encounter when you're fishing bridges. So we are fishing a variety of presentations. Basically what we were doing there, you can see the eddies forming on the back of the pylons here. They've got a pressure point, a pressure wave on the front, and then they've got an eddy on the back, and both those points hold bait and also hold fish. So that's a pretty wild start. First cast each, we each got a flatty, so I don't know where we go from there. Probably a bit bigger would be the go. All right, let's get them off and get them back. Oh, I just dropped that beside the pylon and he ate it. Second cast. That is ridiculous.
What a start. I dare say there's going to be some fish here this morning.
Only another little pocket rocket, but gee, there's a few of them schooled down there, which we know our flathead are schooling fish, so sometimes if you get a few, this sort of handful of pocket sized ones like this, there's probably going to be a bigger fish in that area, so it's worth a few more casts. So I'll get that one off.
Well, you're not going to believe it.
Oh, is that your second cast as well?
Second cast.
That is ridiculous. That is crazy.
Well, I did have this little quake on here in the hopes to get a few bream. If there's a bunch of these flatties around, I might change presentations, because it's definitely not the funnest thing getting those trebles out of the flathead.
Yeah, we'll mix it up a bit as well, hey? So there we go, 4 flatties in quick time. That is crazy. So I'm going to go back in there again. You never know, there might be a big one in here lurking somewhere.
First set of pylons. We've only got 1,000 more to fish.
Oh, yep.
What is just down there, eh?
Oh, what was that one? Another flatty. This is wild. We're just fishing different presentation. Looks like a flatty, scuffed my leader, so I'll quickly change that leader. I'm just flicking one of my favourites, a 1/4 ounce 1/0 TT DemonZ with that 2.5 inch SwimZ Houdini colour. I love that Houdini. It's a good hedge your bets colour, natural sort of colour, but with a bit of UV as well. So we'll just keep picking these eddies. Hopefully the fish keep biting like this.
Right, there's a closer look at that little 50mm Quake Power Vibe there in the bloodworm colour. I'm actually going to put this guy away with the amount of those flathead around. You might see them come out a little bit later when we find a few more bream. It's just not very fun getting those little trebles out of the flathead, so we'll go to a bit bigger plastic and see if we can coax a bigger flathead out of there. It looks bream-like, eh? A little flatty. Oh, that deck is getting slimy.
The slimy, eh? In the net, beautiful. Oh, that is crazy. They schooled up there, all right. They're loving that little paddle tail. So you can see where Declan just cast there. So basically we're just picking all around these pylons here. So the pylons create a pressure wave on that side, an eddy on this side. They hold bait, they've got growth on there. There's ambush points. It's brilliant structure for fish to hold on. So those fish could be anywhere within a few meters right around these pylons.
Or under the boat.
And you can see they've schooled up here in this nice flow that we've got coming here with the tide pushing in. So they're loving that water movement. It's bringing bait to them, and it is fish on.
Beautiful little Creole croaker colour there.
Been watching over the last few weeks. I've been keen to give it a go, and the fish definitely seem to like it. The beautiful little bait fish colour.
Like good boys don't play with bad girls. Good boys stay away from them bad girls. Them bad girls. The good ones.
Right, so we've just got, as the tide's running in here, we can just see Bream feeding on the surface, eating some prawns. Oh, so we're just casting over to them. There he is. So we're just seeing them sucking those prawns off the surface and casting over to them. And that is a great bream. That little 50mm quake. Oh. Beautiful little guy. He's just swimming along on the surface eating those prawns. We've managed to convert him over onto that little quake. I have to get the pliers and get the hooks out of there because you don't want to stick your fingers in there. It's a dynamite little presentation, that little 50mm quake. I really like it. Subtle, sinks slowly, got bunches of trebles on there. It's definitely one of my favourite new bream presentations. Chuck that guy back and we'll go back in there and see if we can get his mate.
That's a bite.
There's a fish. What are you calling? Another little flatty?
Flatty. Certainly a few flatties around these pylons. Righto. In the net. On a little fella. Got my 10-pound leader though, just in case. And he's on something a little bit different, that guy. Put my drop kickers on for a bit of a swim. I love these guys. They're beautiful, subtle tail action. 2.75 inch and 3.5 inch sizes. Sorry, Deck, jab you with that rod, but yeah, beautiful little rounded wedge-shaped tail on there. Tiny little bait fish wiggle in the water as you retrieve it. So, bream, flatties, all sorts of species love to eat that. Declan's on in the background there.
Nice little flatty again. I chucked on that little quake again in the hopes to get a couple more bream, but I think we've hit another patch of these, so I might go back to my plastic to avoid the joys of taking trebles out of Flathead. Where's your big one?
Oh, that's a little baby. Tiny fella.
Now there's the racing snake.
Oh, long tom. Oh, my leader is chewed to bits. Didn't check that last time. This leader's getting real short real fast.
Oh, that feels
Better?
a little bit better. A little bit better flatty on that beautiful new Creole croaker colour. We'll get you a closer look at that plastic. There's a nice fish.
Beautiful fish.
There's that beautiful Creole croaker in the light there. Up and out, get you to look at that. Beautiful, nice clean water colour with that long silver fleck in the bottom. Really nice natural presentation. Undoing of that little guy, we'll chuck him back and have another cast in there.
All right, Deck, I was pretty stoked when you added 2 new colours in one of my favourite presentations, the ZMan 3-inch minnows. I love it for flatties, but dewies, all sorts of species eat them. Give us a run through, what do we got here?
So we've got 2 new colours. So in my hand here we've got Creole croaker, which is a nice greeny colour with that silver fleck here. And then the Disco Cisco, which is a nice transparent blue with a pearly belly, just really natural sort of colour. Good for this nice clean water, running tide, top of the tide, clean water.
Yep.
So
yeah, this is a beautiful clear water baitfish sort of pattern, hey? And that guy's a bit of a hedge your bets. That glittery belly is good in the natural green, but he'd also be good a great dirty water colour as well. All right, let's get amongst them.
Rightio, should we have a bit of a race? I'll go this side of the pylons, you go that side.
Righto, I'm not going to promise you anything. Oh, yep, I landed on the right side. That's a good start. Yeah, two beautiful new colours.
Yeah.
Creole Croaker, that nice greeny back with that sparkly glitter belly, and then Disco Cisco, beautiful natural baitfish colour. Some nice glitters in this guy too, a real nice mix of glitters and flecks and that in him. Let's see if they eat it right on that shadow line. That's the other thing with bridges. Yep, there's so much structure, but even that shadow line is a structure in itself.
Oh, there we go.
There we go, double up.
The old double hookup. Well, both of them work.
On the shadow line.
Yep.
And got ourselves a couple of flatties.
Both little pocket rocket flathead. Disco Cisco, Creole Croaker.
Yep, a couple of nice colours there, that's for sure. Going to be some baitfish favourites for people. Whether you prefer that greeny with the glitter or the more translucent with a bit of fleck and that in it. Definitely going to get eaten, and that's that 3-inch MinnowZ. If you want to catch a flatty, I always say to people, if you want to catch a flathead, tie on a 3-inch MinnowZ on a 1/4 ounce 3/0 jig head. Yep. It's probably your best starting point to catch a flathead. Declan will go, no, put on your 4-inch Streaks curly tails and get into them. But both of those profiles have caught so many flathead, you can't go wrong. Righto, let's get these guys back in the water. See you, mate. Oh. Might give that 3-inch MinnowZ another bit of a swim. Beautiful baitfish profile, and we've got that beautiful paddle tail. So gives it that nice baitfish swimming action, and we've got the perfect profile as well. Bite-sized snack if you're representing a whiting, a mullet, and other baitfish species. Flathead, I watched him eat it. That was brilliant. He just came up off the bottom and just smashed that. Got drilled by that nice flatty. That's pretty cool. Oh, I love that. Love watching him eat it. Hop, hop, bang. Sorry, mate. Take
no, you're right.
rod.
I'm just missing a fish right on that light line again. It's amazing how many fish sit on that light line.
Yeah, it's a great ambush point, hey, that shadow, where that shadow ends, they just sit there and ambush the bait. So you've got the structure of the bridge, but you've also got those other things to think about, like that shadow line. Wow, he really liked the look of that new Disco Cisco MinnowZ. That is in there. So we'll dig that out and we'll get this fish back in the water. That's a beautiful pan-sized flatty. If you wanted an eating fish, we'll send him back for you guys to get stuck into. All right, we fished the end of the run-in tide. That was pretty insane, crazy flathead action. You'll see some of it here. We won't put it all up there because that was a lot of flathead. Yep. So now the tidal flow has dropped out. Deck, what's the plan?
So on this slack tide, we've come right into the channel here. It's about 5 metres deep, and it's much easier to get down there because this is the main channel, lots of flow during the tide, but a lot of fish sit in this tidal channel here. So we're gonna, on this slack tide, we can sink the plastics right down there and fish it effectively. Yeah,
there you go. On that big flow, pretty much impossible to get down there. So I'm gonna fish a larger plastic. I'm gonna go that Creole Croaker in the 3-inch MinnowZ on a 3/8 ounce 3/0 head. Yep. You're going to downsize it all a bit and see if you can pull a good brim out of here.
Yeah, I've just gone to that 1/4 on a 1 and a 2.5-inch grubs and bloodworm, and I'd really sink that down on the base of the pylons and see how we go.
Yeah, mix it up, we'll see how we go. Fish on.
There we go. That's what I was expecting in the steeper water on that little grub, the old brim.
All over it.
Nice little brim here.
1/4 ounce to get it down in around those pylons, and that small profile to get the brim bite, hey?
Nice and deep. Pop that hook out, and we'll chuck down along that pylon and see what else is down there.
Wow.
None of them are sitting anywhere near the bottom. Oh no, look at them all down on the bottom. There we go. Next creature's eating that thing. Oh, the nice flatty.
Well, there's a cracker flatty.
Yeah, great flatty. He's going to go pretty hard on that light there. I've seen that hook's outside his mouth, so no problems of scuffing him off. He's a beautiful flathead. Oh. There's that. Nice little dusky on that 2.5-inch grub again.
Buckle up.
I just saw them flashing on the back of that pylon there and let it sink, and that guy has just smashed it. Another lovely little bream.
Talk us through what you're doing here in terms of positioning in that deck.
So we're just sort of coming along the back of the pylons. The tide's just starting to run out now, and we're just fishing the eddies. As it comes back, these guys are just sitting in the eddies or on the pressure edge there and just feeding, and we're just wafting those plastics back through those eddies, and these guys are coming out and smashing them.
So our tidal flow is running this way. We're sitting here and we're fishing back and bringing it back with the tidal flow around the structure. And those bream are hunting and holding in around there. Just got to entice one to eat. Once we get a little bit more flow, we'll probably get a little bit more activity, but they're a little bit sulky at the moment.
Oh, that didn't take long.
Drilled it straight away, eh? Yep. Quite a few rattles then, hopping that guy past there.
Looking like quite a nice bream.
Mid-water.
That mid-water fish again.
Yeah. 1/4 ounce 1/0
Oh,
DemonZ.
that is a really nice bream.
1/4 ounce 1/0 DemonZ.
Because he is a great fish.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That is a solid bream.
Chunk.
They're not always on the bottom.
No, they're not on the bottom and they're a bit finicky
Yeah.
at the moment with that tidal change. Come here, buddy. All right, there you go. That's a real nice handful of bream on that 2.5 inch slim swims. One of my favourites. Just shaking it and rolling it past those pylons with the flow, and they're just feeding mid-water, and he's just ducked out and drilled it. You can see the importance there of a good quality hook as well. So that's the DemonZ 1/4 ounce 1/0. That's running a Gamakatsu black nickel chemically sharpened hook. Important to have a good chemically sharpened hook when you're chasing those brimbos, that's for sure. That's a nice handful of bream, 2.5 inch slim swims. We'll swim him. That was a noisy carp.
Oh,
Buckle up.
that's not going to end well.
Oh, you got him out?
I have got it out. I don't know what it is.
I was just about to have a chat to the folks at home.
Oh, and there it goes.
Oh, bugger.
Well, I suspect there's a few mangrove jacks hanging around here at the moment, because that's the second time lately I've had that happen to me here, and there's not much else that runs that quick on a bridge other than a jack. So we'll retie and we'll carry on.
This is, I was just going to talk to you a bit about this before I got interrupted rudely by Dex smoking before on a solid fish. But ProCure Super Gel Scent, I generally add a little bit of this to either side of the plastic, rub it right down to the tail there, give it a good coverage, because when that plastic's sitting there and we're fishing it a bit slower, that's another advantage. We've got it, you know, it looks like a bait fish, feels like a bait fish, we can make it smell, taste like a bait fish as well. That's that saltwater yabbing nipper, but there's a bunch of flavours. Got powerful amino acids and bite stimulants, and it's a real nice sticky scent. So I just put it on every 30 or so casts, or in the situations where it's a bit tough, I just put it on a bit more regularly. Helps them hang on a bit longer as well, gives us a bit more time to set the hook. Like I was a little bit slow on that hook set. He ate it, still had time to get him, so hopefully we can find a couple more.
There's a few in there. I just got a few bites on that cast.
Drilled it, mate.
Oh, there you go. Little brimbo. They can't all be big.
No, they come in all sizes. Oh, I missed mine. All right, folks, we're on the final stage of our bridge fishing session. So first stage, we had the end of the run-in tide, caught a stack of flatties. As that tide became still, we moved into the deep water, pulled a fair few bream and bits and pieces off the pylons. And now stage 3 deck, that tide's turned and it started running out.
Pouring out, you can see it's flying really quickly past these pylons. And this actually dries at low tide, which doesn't mean that fish aren't going to be here. They come up and feed on all the crabs and that live up on the flats. So just because it dries at low tide does not mean that there's not going to be fish here on the high.
Yep. Some of my favourite fishing is those areas the fish can't get to on the low. So when there's water here, they're up here seeing what they can find to eat. All right, let's see if we can get a few bream. On.
There's a nice little bream.
Right on the end there.
Right on the end of that pylon there. Got himself up on the flats. Beautiful little guy there. Pop that hook out. Jack it back. There he is. Oh, racing
Rocket,
snake.
rocket.
Hey, that's a bit angry.
Straight out, right off the tip there.
That looks pretty trevally-like.
Just
eh?
right on the point, eh? It was right in that eddy. Beautiful.
Trevally-like? What do you call it?
Big bream.
Big bream, you reckon?
No, it's got a bit too many grunts.
That is a big bream.
Big bream. Oh, that's nice. Right off the tip of that. Right where he should have been sitting, right in the eddy. That's beautiful. Got to be happy with that. A few bream with that bit more flow. They're just hanging out right in the eddies at the back of those pylons. He's a nice one. That just was drifting along the bottom nicely. That little buoyant Elaztec tail up in the air.
Oh.
And this epic flounder just drilled it. That is a solid flounder.
That is a solid flounder.
As far as flounders go, that's a nice flounder. Wow, we got a mixed bag of fish. That's epic. Oh, handful of flounder. Oh, get in the net, mate. that's the one we wanted. That is an absolute gem.
That's a great flatty. Oh, how good does Creole Croaker look in the sunlight?
That is a beautiful looking thing in the sunlight, mate. Got that awesome natural green colour, that beautiful, look at that flash. That flash is amazing.
Yep.
And that guy liked the look of it, smashed it.
Loved it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Nice
All
flatty.
happening. Nice little flatty, ambulance coming past.
Yep.
What do you got there? Nice, couple of nice flathead there.
Bridge fishing.
You know what that tells me? There's our flathead tacos for tonight, and I reckon we're done.
I reckon that's not a bad way to finish on flathead tacos. So that was a pretty good session. Fishing some bridges, so man-made structure.
Generally a few more bream around, but we're not complaining. There's definitely wasn't a shortage of the flathead today.
Yeah, so what a session that you know, flatties on the run in, a big stack of flatties on the run in. Then we got that slack water, fished a bit deep, got some fish fishing deep, and then finished off. We got the current pumping back, shallow water stuff, caught a few bream, and then a few flatties as well. So
flathead,
bridges, remember bridges in your area. Have a look at what you've got available, because bridges often allow access to fish. They create shelter, shade lines, growth for the fish to feed on, eddies, lots of ambush points. Bridges are a great place to target fish. So check out what bridges are available in your local system. Get out and get stuck into a few fish. Fish on.